Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Virtual Velocity Racing Xfinity / O'Reilly Series as we are here at big old Talladega Superspeedway here one more time, and we'll get to see some 2-wide, 3-wide, maybe even 4-wide racing here tonight as iRacing definitely having some issues right now, so hopefully your favorite driver was able to get into the session. I know it was an issue for me, issue for Jimmy, and an issue for a lot of people if you weren't directly in the session before the issue started happening here tonight, but it looks like maybe we got everybody in here tonight. We'll see how it works out here, but either way, it's a good sized field, and looks like the infield is packed with the RVs, the cars, and everybody's ready for some racing action here tonight. Hopefully you are in Sierra Nation as well. Carline, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, back here at the High Banks of Dega.
Yeah, High Banks of Data. High Banks here at Talladega, and you can tell I just got off work with Data all day. But the High Banks here definitely allow the drivers to kind of go all out, and just was talking, got to hear some of the drivers talking and hearing about how these Xfinity cars get a little loose, so you can't really push them through the corners like you can the trucks. So you definitely got to be careful here tonight. They're going to be out here for a few laps and to get this thing done. Go ahead and run down a quick qualifying order here for tonight. I know it's not a huge deal for these drivers as they oops, I have too many overlays up.
But John, the most important qualifying of the season.
It is, because John Garrett in the number 66 has the pole tonight over Sean Wilder, Todd Merkel, and then Hemi Gardini all the way up in the front as well. Brandon Muir, James Yerger, Mike Hasty, Dalton Kilrow on row number 4, row number 5, Tom Rasco, and Gordon Larson. Michael Pratt, there's something definitely up as he is in mid-pack today, so with a qualifying time in. And 11th with Derek Paulson in 12th, DJ Mitchell, Cade Green, Eric Blount, Cole Spalding, Hilton Young, Todd Poston, and yes, we still have more. Actually, a lot of drivers made it here tonight, regardless of the issues going on. So you have Tyler Hilton back there. Ignore Carl Hanworth and can't ignore Tim Lee and ignore Jimmy Covert back there as well.
I don't know. Don't ignore me. I out-qualified you. I out-qualified Tim. I'm the man, all right?
You literally have no time.
Okay. iRacing knows what's up.
Oh my goodness, we know that you can't qualify at Talladega anyway.
Talladega, absolutely.
But we're gonna go down here trackside here where the drivers are coming around, and we'll get all the overlays up for everybody so you can see where the drivers are at. They're working their way down the back stretch right now. So cars looking good out there tonight, and it's going to be a nice one here. You can see it looks like we only have 40 laps here tonight, so this one can be over pretty quickly. But if it turns into a caution fest, which we normally don't see here at 191, this thing could be over in a blink of an eye. And maybe those that couldn't make it here tonight are watching out there tonight. So, but if you're out there and you couldn't make it in the race, definitely apologize. But definitely on the iRacing side, as the leagues for some reason are not able to bring up their races, and even Core, our second race is that's supposed to be broadcasted tonight, might not happen, and unless things clear up before then. So they're on standby now, and we're getting ready to get ready for the GT race. So, but right now we're going to get ready to go green here just momentarily as pace car is rounding around turn number 4. John Garrett out there on the front row, looking to start this thing off.
So just getting a little news here as we get ready to fire off here tonight, and that is with all the issues with iRacing, and unfortunately having to recreate the session here. The session only 40 laps. It was scheduled to be 80, but it's only 40 laps here tonight. So because of that, because the errors here, this is essentially going to be a practice race for the drivers. It's not going to be 4 points here tonight. They are going to utilize the off week that was in the schedule, and that's when we'll run Talladega for reals. So tonight, just get to practice and see how they can handle each other, and maybe figure out this looseness in the Xfinity car here at the corners.
Yeah, and obviously it's practice for a super speedway. It almost sounds ridiculous, but you're out there and it's all just being careful and trying to not make the right or the wrong choice. Whether it's staying on the high line, moving down the front line. Seen the 91, he was able to get around the 66 of John Garrett, drop down. Now Hemi Gardini is going to do the same thing here, coming down out of turn number 3 and trying to use that momentum from the inside to see if he can stay out front. And this here is like where they're kind of, get going and try to start making moves. And if, you can block and not necessarily block, but if that inside line gets a big enough push, Hemi Gardini would have been able to float up to the outside and hold off another 39, and keep him back there, but not the case here. As it looks like the 71, Brandon Meir tucking out here, heading toward the back. And a lot of drivers do like to do this too, kind of just hang out in the back and hopefully not get wrapped up or give them time to avoid incidents. Don't like to be up there in the fray and keep things all kind of wound tight here. So, but looking good so far, and I wanted to imagine if they're going to use this as a practice race, and to see the likes of 3 wide and 3 wide early. 40 laps is not a long time, but I think Carl, I don't think they can make it 40 laps, so that we can still possibly see things like this up.
I almost feel like a dog. I can hear your ears perk up there a little bit. Like, well, wait a second, hold on.
We got things like this.
New toy? Yeah, and it still is a possibility here. But yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned that you don't think of practicing when it comes to super speedways, but it's a chance for you to kind of test out some different drivers and maybe figure out some new friends. Of course, some of these drivers out here, have teammates that they run with on a weekly basis. Some don't. And some maybe want to test out 4 wide action, as we've seen that right there. But yeah, you can test out and see, are you a better pusher? Are you better getting pushed? There's a lot of different things that you can kind of find out, and maybe since this is the practice this race, and even if they can make it on fuel, it's a chance for you to get in there and practice some green flag pit stops, even if it's not needed here tonight, since a win doesn't really get you anything other than some bragging rights.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, the luck of being out front, being able to put yourself in the right spot, and, how long are people going to sit in the back, and how long, test out. Oh, wow, what a bump there by Hemi and Gardini on the, we might have some action back here. Some people down there on the apron going into the corner. John Garrett is going to lose the draft here. And Cade Green, biggest loser there, but was able to kind of keep the car going straight here. So, but he's going to lose the draft, so in danger unless a caution does come out. But the cars, the wicked push on them cars really makes the rear end of these cars kind of lift up in the air and get squirrely. So you see that right there as they kind of went off track just a little bit, but they're able to save it. So tough break for a few of those. Those look like John Garrett is either going to lose the draft here as they look ahead. Yeah, he's going to lose out in the draft. So maybe his only saving grace is the likes of Todd Burkle and Hilton Young in front of him by 2.5 seconds. So I don't think that they're going to drop back to pick up John. But I mean, if they're losing time, it'd be behoove them to be able to pick up that third car and possibly at least maintain the distance here from where they're at instead of falling back even faster. 3 cars will definitely run faster than 2. But they'll go back up where the action is, up to the pack, top on board here with Sean Wilder, kind of in the middle of the pack. You can hear the lifting, so he doesn't get into the back of the 5 of Derek Carlson, and just keep things kind of rolling here and see who can venture out and win this practice race. Kind of a shootout here, like you were saying. It's unfortunate that something like this kind of happens, and at least the race is short enough that it's not like super long or full distance. And an 80-lap practice race would have been a little nutso. They are out here now, and a 40 is actually almost a perfect distance here for Talladega, because it does take almost a minute to get around anyway. So they're still going to be out here for a good amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, I mean, we still may end up seeing those green flag pit stops that you so much covet, and they are definitely fun to watch and see the the carnage that is on the track is one thing. The carnage coming into the pits when it's 10, 15 drivers all trying to come in at the same time is definitely it can be poetry in motion. It can look like synchronized swimming, or it can just look like a monkey trying to have relations with a well, we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, we'll see how it happens. Hopefully we get a chance to see that exactly. But either way, good to see 21 cars out there tonight. With myself and Jimmy being 22 and 23, I joked to Tim. I asked him if it was okay if I get out there to turn a lap to make sure I beat Jimmy here tonight. Actually, I mentioned it to DJ out there. But either way, it is 21 strong. Yeah, exactly. 21 strong out here tonight, led right now by Todd Poss and DJ Mitzel, side by side at the front. Eric Blunt, Derek Paulson, Sean Wilder for the top 5, but we're going to have our first caution here of the night.
Yeah, kind of seen that happen there. Hasty kind of going around and getting caught by a bumper. I mean, there's plenty of room for 4 wide, but it is very tight, and you can see how well that kind of worked out there. And not too bad of an insult, to be honest. You see him right there, 4 wide. Just a little bobble there. The one trying to stay up to 24, and then the one kind of tagging the 72, hooking. Taking out a few drivers there, Tim Lee included in the 71 as well. So there's a few drivers getting caught up there. And this one, I think they do have a fast repair, but right now it is Todd Boston out front, DJ Mitzel, Eric Blount. So drivers still trying to take the opportunity to lead some laps, and we'll see how they handle coming into pits. Who's going to come into pits? Is this the window, or will they still need to stop? Or can they get out there, save some fuel with another caution and still make it? That's one thing I just don't know about the fuel length here. Obviously with this track is very long, 2.66 miles, one of the longer tracks in iRacing as far as ovals go. And I think the only one close is, well, I know Daytona's 2.5. I think Pocono's 2.5 as well, right?
Yeah, so Pocono's 2.5, yep.
Yeah, so this one here being the longest oval track. The only one that would be larger is the made-up fictional track of iRacing Superspeedway. And that thing is a beast. I think it's 3 miles.
I think it's a 3 mile, yeah. I think it's a 3 mile track. I still don't own it, and I refuse to buy it unless I absolutely have to for a league. And please don't make me. I think you like to keep it at the real tracks here, not the fictional ones. But yeah, that's high banked, and you don't have to worry about anything there. And I think take the restrictor plates off on that one. You don't need anything to hold you back. But here tonight, we'll see. I'm sure everyone come down into the pits. I'm not sure if this is the window or not, or if we still will see another pit stop here, or even technically if they even have to come in this time. I'm not really sure, but maybe we'll try and get some drivers up here and do some interviews at some point to kind of mix it up here a little bit, since we don't need to worry about messing up their points nights here at all. But yeah, we do got 3 cars, looks like, staying out of the pits. Eric Blunt, Gordon Larson, Hemi Gardini, and the rest are going to come down and at least take some fresh fuel in that car.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go ahead with tires at all. See, there's Sean Wilder just taking fuel. A lot of drivers coming down and out already, so more than likely just fuel. I see a couple of drivers taking on some fresh sneakers here, some Goodyear sneakers here for the track, but only have a little over or just under 30 laps remaining once they get back out there. And obviously it's still a decent little short shoot here, I guess, in terms of races for 191, or excuse me, VVR. This would be a sprint, a short shoot. Like I said, it was supposed to be 80 laps, and that's a long time to be out there at Talladega, and it can almost feel like a small endurance race.
Well, while we have some caution time here, we are going to bring in the driver of the number 8, Tyler Hilton. Tyler, you join us up here in the booth. It's a practice race. We may even try and pull some of you guys in during the race because, we ain't going to screw anything up. We ain't going to screw anybody points, but we'll get you under caution. We'll get you while you're not having to think so much out there. First of all, how the car is handling out there? We did get some reports that it can get a little bit sketchy, a little bit squirrely in the turns out there with these O'Reilly cars.
Yeah, they're first off, thanks for having me up here. But yeah, no, they're a little sketchy, especially on the bump draft. These cars, a lot of us out here, we're used to kind of being able to push around and shove and stuff like that. But it seems like now with the way they've got the model and everything, that it's just the slightest bump and it's pulling those rear tires a little bit up off the ground. So definitely a little bit sketch on that. Also, I feel like there's a little bit more drag. So being able to catch up to somebody, especially when you're behind them a few car lengths, you can't get that big boost of energy in that run like you used to be able to. You have to have that help to do that now. So it's a little bit different. We're all figuring out the aero model, but yeah, close quarters racing for sure.
So without giving anything away here, fuel mileage wise, are you guys with different fuel mileage with the only the 40 lap race? Are you guys good to go to the end? How is that going to work out here tonight?
We are not. So right now I'm tracking 26 laps on a full tank. So 26 laps on that.
Jimmy's hoping for a green flag pit stop. That's what he hopes for every time you go to a super speedway. So we'll let you go and get back in the race here and get ready to see that 8 maybe charge up towards the front here. But before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, Victory Junction, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Diamond G, all those guys back at Falcon, my family, my friends, Chevrolet, you guys up in the booth. This is a practice race, and make sure you get a good vantage point of me when I'm flipping through the air multiple times.
I want to end over here.
Or it doesn't count, exactly. We'll let you go back to it. Thank you for joining us up here, Tyler, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you at the end of the race with the top 3.
Yeah, we'll see. I appreciate you guys.
Hi, buddy. That's the driver of the number 8, Tyler Hilton, as we get ready to get this thing back underway. Gordon Larson, Eric Blunt on that front row, Derek Paulson, Hemi Gherardini, Cole Spaulding for your top 5, Sean Wilder, Hilton Young, Tyler Hilton, Todd Merkel, and Brandon Meir for your top 10. I want to thank our sponsors here for the series, Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. And speaking of Fort Worth Screen Printing, getting on some rail cars quite a bit lately, and I believe going to be on the car of Malik Ray for this upcoming race. So pretty cool there for John Garrett and Fort Worth Screen Printing. But ready to get this thing back underway. Jimmy, we are down 10 laps already. Only got 30 to go. It'll be 29 at the line. So this thing is clicking by pretty quickly, especially like you said for VVR, since it's a half race for them.
Yeah, so I thought they were giving me a treat. But no, I love watching the drivers here. And, even the caution here is kind of, rare with these drivers. And to have one kind of come out, but still giving me that glimpse of hope for that green flag pit stop. Carl, it's just something about it. I love watching the drivers come down and just kind of squirm a little bit because it's so... Everything, it's like a small accident, like a slow motion thing that could happen. And to see if everybody could figure it out all at once, 15 different drivers picking 15 different things and trying to get into that pit here safely. But good jump there on the front there by Eric Blunt, Hemi Gherardini coming down below. You can see everybody kind of shifting down in line already, trying to kind of keep a single line kind of going on here. But we'll back it out as we are too wide. There with the number 71 of Brandon Meir. That is now up to P number 8. He started up there in P number 5, so fell back a little bit, but I'm sure he'll work his way forward. Eric Blount up 14 spots here. And then you have some of the drivers that were kind of towards up the front now in the back. I don't know if they decided to take tires or what. We're just going to try it out to see, what being in the back and how hard it is to kind of move up to the field and can I get out there by myself and use the side draft, or am I sitting duck and I just can't do anything? I can't take one car at a time, but it doesn't take long. These drivers already back up to 3 wide here as the 4 goes to the outside of the 38. The 38's going to use that opportunity to drop down right there in front of Michael Pratt and keep this thing going down the back strip.
Yeah, you talk about the pit stops, and I kind of think of it as, that one time the drivers have to do a road course for the season. It can be done, yes, but are you proficient at it? Maybe not as much as some others. And when it comes to the pit stops here, they have plenty of time on track. They know how to drive on track with each other, around each other. That's all fine and dandy, but when you come into pits, some drivers maybe break a little earlier than you're used to, some break a little later. You don't have as much experience pitting around your competitors that you do being out there on the track. I mean, you're out there on the track aside of them for hundreds of thousands of laps for the season, but you're only pitting with them, with them at a super speedway, maybe 5 times a season, 6 times a season. If you include some of the other races all together, you're maybe pitting with competitors a total of maybe 25 times for the season compared to maybe close to 1,000 laps on the season. So it's a completely different ball game, and it's just, I don't want to say that drivers aren't prepared for it, but they just don't have as much experience in doing it. That's where it can get a little sketchy, a little hairy, and sometimes we like to see a little bit of carnage happening coming into pit road.
And it's just, like I said, it's just kind of and when they nail it, it's real sweet. Just imagine all the drivers like this right now. They're 3 wide, and everybody's like, we're gonna pit, and they just all come off the track at the same time, and they all can break, and you'll see them fan out and come in and filter into their pit boxes, and then it is. If you're on the outside, there's somebody in the inside because, you got to pit before them. It just really does. There's a lot of thought, what you want to do, how to prepare, getting your car in position. And it's one of the reasons why I stay to the inside until I know that I'm good on the field. And then I venture around the track, or if I just came out of the pits or something, obviously. But it's been a little while since I've had myself at a super speedway, and I just more enjoy just kind of watching the chaos and carnage and let them, have the white knuckles for the night.
We certainly, at least I don't mind being up here in the booth when it comes to these super speedways, because it can get a little bit sketchy, a little bit scary sometimes, and not just in the pits, but when you're out there going 2-3 wide with some of the drivers, and some feel 100% comfortable with everything that they're doing out there. Some are a little bit sketchy, and you never really quite know until you start racing around them what they're feeling out there. And sometimes it's a little too late, and you find out the hard way of how things are going to go. But either way, good restart for the gents out there, and we are starting to click away some more laps right now. But
hang on, Nord. Outside line, Mike Hasty getting over the wall a little bit, slowing it up, but drivers quickly noticing it and letting up just a little bit. But the outside line breaking up here, allowing them to kind of go to the center as the likes of 8 of Tyler Hilton right behind them and trying to push them. 5 with Derek Paulson trying to snag a little bit of hair there behind the 71. But the 91 of Sean Wilder out there. But they're going to just drive right around them. So have using that momentum and trying to move forward to the outside. Maybe he was hoping that Len McNeese would go with him. But here comes the 4 of DJ Mitchell on the outside of the game to pair up with the 5 and get that very outside line going. But out front, it is the number 6 M&M's Machine of Eric Blount, followed by Hemi Giardini. Try not to say Hemi's name too much. So
say it tonight, Jimmy.
Say it tonight. Not taking no points.
Have it
and then he'll win tonight because it doesn't count. That he has a lot of tires. He's got extra sets of tires in the pits for having to park his car early so many weeks throughout the season. But it's good to see Hemi out front having a pretty decent race here tonight and trying to get himself a great finish. Down to 23 laps to go for him.
Well, hey, I mean, if he doesn't use his tires here tonight, maybe he can just keep them here, stockpile them somewhere, since it's going to be right back here at Dayton in a couple weeks. But either way, a great race here from the drivers. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as we will be back to some points racing come next week as Which Velocity gets back going, and hopefully, well, I should say, should be back next week as long as there's no more iRacing issues. It seems like the league part of it has been cleared up, and looks like even our sister broadcast over there for the core GT series. They should be good to go for tonight, as the iRacing League issues seem to be cleared up, or at least clearing up. And we'll have our double feature here for tonight. And we may be done early enough, Jimmy, that we could even watch or partake over there if we wanted to. I mean, we get a free race at core too. And it's right, that's for Atlanta. It's for Atlanta. It's right up your alley.
It is up my alley. I don't have. That's a good question. I don't have any. My rig is basically it's sitting in front of my monitor. I have hence had some remodeling in my race room not too long ago. Had to remove some carpet and do with some animals, and I haven't fully hooked everything back up. The computer's hooked up, just not the wheel's not hooked up. It's not power. I got no power to it. Nothing. It's I'm just sitting here. Got all this nice equipment, and I have to get it plugged in because Warren Likes are on the hook here in just a few weeks to start running our qualifying runs for the Majors 24. So up front there, they're coming up on the likes of Dalton Kilroe, which is now going a lap down.
Yeah, it's definitely not a points night if we're seeing Kilroe going a lap down here. They're not trying out here at all, clearly. No. But I'm sure they don't mind it either way, lapping the points leader here tonight with no points on the line. But we are at the lap 20 mark, Jimmy, and even though it'll only be a quarter of the way through the normal race, it's halfway through tonight's race, so I think it's about time we changed it over and gave everyone out there at CR Nation a little love to hear it.
Yeah, we'll give them a couple laps of love to hear it.
sights and sounds of virtual velocity racing, and maybe the sights and sounds of Jimmy Giddy. And we see some reflect pit stops here from the back half of the field. Mike Hasty, Sean Wilder, Mir, Blunt, Garridini, Larson, Spalding, and Hilton Young all into the pits here to complete their pit cycle for the race. So good to go here to the end as we're down to 12 laps to go here in the race. DJ Mitzel in the lead, Derek Paulson, Todd Poston, James Yerger, Tim Lee for your top 5, McNeese, Hilton, Garrett, Merkel, and Marasco, your top 10, with Pratt and Green still out there clicking off laps as we're waiting for them to make their final pit stops. We'll see when that happens. It looked like a pretty good stop for all the cars that came in that time by. I see a lot of cars lined up single file, but looks like everybody going by this time. I think 3 of the cars that stayed out there needed to make a pit stop, and maybe they talked some other friends and teammates into coming in there with them. That's why you're seeing such a big group go in there. But it looks like the 91 and 71 right now have gotten out there pretty good. Wilder and Mir get out there and are working together, at least 2 drivers working together here to try and get a good gap for when the other field comes in, and they get another 2 in at tandem with Spalding and Hasty. Not too far behind them, about a second behind, just outside the draft. If they can work together good enough, they can maybe catch up to the draft. Gordon Larson, 1.2 seconds, is just tantalizingly just out of the draft. He's by himself right now until Garridini or Hilton Young work together to catch up to him. But right now, still clicking away here. This time by, we got 10 laps to go. 1 more pit stop for half the field. Oh no! I was gonna say I thought Garrett was coming in by himself. It looks like he's got 1 or 2 more coming in behind him, but they're gonna close the gap up. And well, Nate Green closed the gap up real quick, and somehow he gets it wound up in time to avoid any pit road penalties and avoid Tyler Hilton, as well, as that got very close right there. As the 3 of them will come in to make their pit stops. Now, some of these drivers pit on lap 9. Some of them came back in and topped off on lap number 10. That's the last time they've been in here. Farthest we've seen these drivers get out there is 28 laps is when the other ones came in. But that's with a few caution laps in play as well. So I don't think getting to the end, even the cars that pit on lap 10 is in the cards. Maybe with a ton of drafting here and maybe a ton of coasting, maybe they're able to get to 30 laps. But the fact that we talked to Tyler Hilton earlier, and he said about 26 laps. I would tend to think that's, maybe got 1 lap in it, maybe 2 laps in it. Depending on how much you're actually saving, you got to figure you're able to save a little bit under that caution. But to get it all the way to 30, get an extra 4 laps out of it, I think is a big reach. So I would think you're going to see the rest of the field come in these next couple laps. He's gonna beat me up. That's all that matters. I kept you behind the whole race here. I mean, I don't know if you're saving fuel back there, but either way, I'll take it. Locking up, a lot of smoke from tires locking up, but it looks like everyone in without any issues. It looks like Michael Pratt not coming in this time by. He's going to stay out for another lap, as is Ty Marasco. And if James Yerger decided, James Yerger going to stay out as well. So maybe these 3 cars are going stretch for the end of this thing. They are going to try and get this thing all the way to the end. And they don't want to give you a green flag pit stop, Jimmy. They're just mean. We guys out here mean. It's close. It is close. It's 0.9 seconds. I think they just got enough, and they did. They got enough of a sniff. They're getting, as Chris Hamilton would say, they're getting the big suck right now. They are catching back up to the field here. And we're going to have at least an 8-car, and I believe Todd Merkel was able to latch onto the back of them, so we should have a 9-car field at the front here. But will they be able to run down Pratt, Yerger, and Marasco, who are clearly out there saving, trying to make this thing to the end? This time by, 3 to go. Mileage race in VVR? Certainly going to stretch this thing out and try and do what he can. Maybe sputtering on that last lap is probably not what you want to be doing, especially on that last lap. But it is it's going to be tight here. 2 to go right now for the field. And Yerger is going to give up the fight. He brings it into a pit lane. That's going to leave 2 cars out there. Pratt and Marasco are the last ones. And I see Marasco's time dropping very, very quickly here, as it is now down to, trying to see, it looks like 4.4 seconds right now. And now down to 4, down to 3.8. It is dropping very quickly, as you see a bit of a snake there from the field. And it looks like that field is only, we do got a little bit of cars involved here in the 72 of Hasty. Tries to go to the outside here. He's got Spalding right behind him as you're trying to work up the outside line right now, but everyone chasing DJ Mitchell at the front of this pack. Everyone chasing the 77 of Michael Pratt, who is now got the white flag out. One more lap to go here for Pratt. Ty Marasco getting caught up here, and he's going to be passed here pretty easily. And Marasco's maybe able to make it here to the end, but he's not going to make it there in that first position. 2.5 second lead at the front. It's dropping very, very fast. It's down to 2, 1.7, 1.6, 1.5, and it looks like Pratt may be out. He gave it the old college try, but out of fuel on the backstretch here. So the race for the lead is DJ Mitchell in front, Len McNeese, Todd Poston, and they're going to get together here. Going to fight it back up onto the track. McNeese up into the wall, and this is helping as DJ Mitchell is going to drive this thing away. Some hard impacts there behind. Brandon Muir in second, Mike Hasty in third, and that looks like how it's going to finish here as they head to the tri-oval for the final time. And the 4 is going to taste victory here tonight. DJ Mitchell in front here tonight, and somehow for a second there I seen Jimmy in front of me. I was getting a little worried, but I did finish in front of Jimmy. For everyone that was out there cheering me on, I appreciate it. But DJ Mitchell gets the win here tonight. Brandon Muir, Mike Hasty, Derek Paulson, and John Garrett for your top 5. Well, let me try and take a look back here and see the incidents there. Look like the 31 of Poston getting down to the inside and maybe getting into Len McNeese to kind of start this thing off. But this was a pretty big impact here for the 84 and the outside wall. I know that much. Damn it! I don't know how you got me at the end. Maybe it's alphabetical order by last name for the ending there. I don't know. I'm calling the NASCAR official. This is we got to get that 14 inspected. But either way, I want to thank everybody out there for tuning in tonight to the little practice shootout here at Talladega. As this track will be back on the schedule when the off week that they were going to have will be when they have the actual Talladega 80 lap race, unless some iRacing demons crop up again. But either way, we'll get our top 3 here in for their interviews, whether it means points or not. Third place here tonight, Jimmy, it's going to be the 72 of Mike Hasty.
Oh. Yeah, I do. What's up, guys? Yeah. I mean, these things are a handful and they don't push well. But, having whatever hiccup we had here, making this a fun race instead. Normally in these play tracks, I sit around in the back. I'm a little too conservative. I wait until, 10 to go or something and then just I still don't get aggressive. And so this was a chance for me to just do something different. And so I got up in the middle lane and I got up into the third lane and, just having some fun with it. And it was a lot more fun to do that because the rest of the time you feel like you're just driving around in traffic. You know what I mean? So it was a real fun night, actually. So, we had like 8 or 9 and 4 or 5 of them ended up screwing up a little bit, So there was just 4 of us that got out clean and we were ripping off some pretty quick laps for just the 4 of us. We were staying in line, we were doing what we needed to do. There was nobody doing anything stupid. And it got us right up into the lead pack there. And right at the end with like 2 or 3 to go, we finally caught everybody and we were good to go. And, that was a lot of fun. You got to be patient, but you got to be aggressive. You know how it is here. It's a little. We had a little bit of all of it, but having a shorter race kept that urgency up, which was kind of fun too. We couldn't just lay back for 50 laps or something. So yeah. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it. You guys always do a good job. I know this isn't end up being like an official race, or whatever, but I love that you guys were able to get in. Appreciate that you're still doing the broadcast. We always love to go back and watch anyway, so we'll do that. I want to thank everybody who's in our chat, which would be Hemi and Brandon and Gordon and Eric Blunt, and also Hilton Young has been in ours for the last few weeks. So I want to shout out to him. Good hangs, everybody. That's what we do it for. So to me, it isn't about the wins; it's about the hangs.
Yeah. Again, I appreciate the shout outs, and again, thank you very much. And we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Yeah, appreciate it. You guys have a great night.
Yes, sir.
You too, buddy. That is the 72 of Mike Casey, third place finisher here tonight. Second place is going to go to the 71 of Brandon Meir. Brandon, you're part of the pack that had half the pack that had a good pit stop there, and you were able to get up there. And I mean, what are the thoughts when you guys kind of split off? Half the field comes in, quite a bit early, and the other half stays out there later. What are the thoughts going through the mind of the driver? Are you just let's lock in, let's get in line here, let's not make a mistake, we got to stay single file here and try and run some clean laps so that way when it cycles all out, we're in good shape?
That and stay green.
yes, that's kind of big too.
It was tonight didn't really mean much for anyone. I think it was more of a fun race, but I didn't have to take much fuel, so that kind of threw me and who was it? I don't know. Not Cole. I don't know whoever I was pushing there after the pit stop. Sean. And we were just like, let's just go. We'll catch them all. We'll get back up there. And then I saw the 3 guys that were staying out. I'm like, they're gonna try to stretch it, and then Pratt ran out of fuel, I think, coming out of turn 2, and that's when Calamity Corner hit.
On the backstretch is when we seen the 77 run out of fuel. But the 3 of them tried to give it the old college try. One pit early, one ran out, I think, coming to the white, and then the other one ran out on the backstretch. But either way, you guys stuck it out here, and you're able to run that thing to the end with the issues here. That, like you said, Calamity Corner there, and turn number 3, last lap at Talladega. Usually there's something that's going on here, and you're able to be ahead of it, get around it, and get yourself a second place. Even though it doesn't count, it still gives you maybe a little confidence for when you come here in the regular season.
Yeah, I was just telling DJ, I'm like, maybe they'll just make this the All-Star race for us this season. So it'd be a cool little thing to get ready for the rest of the season. So
yeah, exactly. Well, either way, it was a good run out here tonight. You get home in second. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Thanks for you guys for sticking through this tonight. I know it was a lot of big crisis that went on tonight. I guess there was a client update when everybody logged out. So I think iRacing had an emergency update. That's what was causing everything. Thanks to everybody else that came in and stuck this one out. I know we had a lot of issues getting in, so I'm like, oh, let's send everybody a friend request. I can join off that, and that's pretty much what they did. Thanks to the Roca fellas and Hilton Young for sitting in the Discord with us, and Tim Lee for putting us on every week.
Yeah, one way or another, we'll figure it out. CRN's not going to miss. If you guys are out there on the track, we're going to be out there covering for sure. So, congrats again on the second place. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you guys.
That is the 71 of Brandon Muir coming home in second. First place here tonight, my new friend on iRacing, DJ Mitzel in the number 4.
Yeah, if it wasn't for DJ, we probably wouldn't be here tonight. So, this is for him, from us. Thanks for inviting, getting us in here tonight in order to cover this practice race. But DJ, you're out there tonight. You get the number 4 out front. Practice or not, win's a win, right?
Oh yeah. It was fun. Unfortunately, it's a practice fun race, but it was funny before the race started. In our room, me and Tim Lee and Len McNeese and Todd Poston were talking, and we said, guaranteed one of us is going to win tonight, because it doesn't count. So funny enough, it happened.
I mean, it always seems that way, but you can take what you learned here, and then hopefully in a few weeks when you guys revisit, be able to put those in action. Maybe we'll get that 4 back up front yet again. But on the next week, hopefully you get that 4 back up here on the podium again. So we just want to say congratulations, man. Thanks for coming out and participating here tonight, even with the problems, and helping us out here at CRN. So wanted to say thank you, and then also give you some time for any shouts you might have in that car.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. It was a little bit of a scramble. I was running between rooms trying to make sure everybody got in. I'm not sure who figured it out, but I think maybe Brandon Meyer or Gordon Larson, they figured out that if you were friends with somebody that made it in before everything went to crap, it worked out. So everybody's friends now. And we got in, and it was fun. This package, it's interesting. It's different. I haven't raced supers in a while. It's really different. It's fun though. There's a lot of air bubbles there that you can kind of feel. Moves you around a bit. But we got into that middle lane there and started figuring out, wow, the middle lane's fast. So had some good pushers. Derek, Todd, going from back to front a couple times. That was fun. And yeah, just enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. Appreciate everybody who comes out in the league. We have such a good group of guys. Everybody's fun to race with. Obviously, all the admins helping out. Derek, Tim, Len, Tyler, and then just thanks to you guys for hanging out today, even with the practice race. Probably a good, decent broadcast for a little while, and then it kind of leveled out. So,
yeah, it's always good to have an incident here and there. It does mix things up, and obviously keeps us guessing. But you guys delivered on the green flag pit stops here tonight, so I want to say thank you, and again, congratulations again here for yourself, and we'll let you go celebrate the rest of the evening with your friends and family.
All right, 10-4. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
Your winner here tonight, the 4 of DJ Mitzel, getting it done here for the shootout, the Talladega shootout here for VVR as just practice race here tonight. They'll be back in action next week, but in action right now, or at least in the next minute or two, is going to be the Core GT series. If you're not done watching some racing here tonight, tune in to our sister team over there with John and Mike on the mics to bring you some race coverage from Road Atlanta there tonight. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. Thank our sponsors here once again, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs, and Goldline Guardians. But for myself and Jimmy from the practice race at Dega, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.